Hey everyone, welcome. Today's video is a soft, dreamy hot air balloon that my wife draws for our kids' room. It's simple, colorful and honestly really peaceful to work on. While painting this, I started thinking about simplicity in art and how much joy we can find in it. Especially now when so much of what we see online is these huge, hyper-rendered and technically perfect pieces. So in this video, I want to talk about why simple art can be just as powerful and fulfilling as complex art. And maybe even a little more freeing. You know, it's so easy to feel the pressure to make every artwork a masterpiece. To push every lighting detail, every reflection, every texture, until it looks professional. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing highly detailed art. It's inspiring and beautiful, but sometimes it also makes me forget that art doesn't always need to impress. It can just express our feelings and our vision, even if it's simple. We all fall into that trap of perfection, myself included, zooming in on tiny areas, spending hours rendering something maybe no one will ever notice. And at some point we realize that we lost the feeling of play, the joy of creating art, the thing that makes us start creating in the first place. Working on something simple reminded me how good it feels to let go of all that pressure, to enjoy color, flow and mood instead of worrying about every minute detail in the piece I'm working on. Simplicity brings clarity, you can say. It lets you focus on what the piece feels like rather than how perfect it looks. A child looking at a painting won't care if the light source is technically correct or even perfect. They just see adventure, colors and the mood, a balloon floating in a big blue sky. And that's kind of beautiful, isn't it? Because in the end, art isn't about perfection, it's about what makes you feel. Funny thing is, the more skill we gain as artists, the easier it is to overcomplicate things. We start thinking, what if I add this or that? Maybe just one more layer, especially if you're digitally painting. Before you know it, you've rendered the soul out of your painting. I've done that so many times, and mind you, I'm not a great digital artist. I've done traditional work so far. I figure out that I've done the sketch and all feels great, but when doing the line work, it feels lifeless, and that's usually when I realize I need to step back, take a breather, and remember that sometimes less is more. And it's a bit corny to say that, but it's true. Adding detail doesn't always make something better. Sometimes it just makes it heavier, and what you really needed was a lighter touch, something a bit less, a bit softer. There is also something incredibly calming about painting without pressure. When I paint like this, I'm not chasing anything, I'm just being here, in the moment, mixing colors, following the brush. Simplicity invites stillness, it lets your brain breathe. You stop overthinking and start feeling the rhythm, the softness, the small choices that slowly build into something. It's the kind of process that reminds us that art can be self-care too. You don't always have to push yourself to your limits. Sometimes art, it's just about slowing down and reconnecting with that quiet joy of creating. Of course, I'm not saying complex art is bad. Far from it. There's beauty in challenge and growth. But I think it's healthy to find a balance between both. Have days where you push your skills and others where you paint just for you. Peace. Create without expectations, sometimes no portfolio, no social media pressure. Just you, your brush or tablet, chasing color and feeling. That's where the real happiness in art lives, in those moments when you stop trying to prove something and just let yourself enjoy it. So, if you've been feeling burnout or stuck lately, try going simple. Draw something playful, something a kid would enjoy. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to make you feel something. Maybe a hot air balloon, like this one, something that reminds you to float. Breathe in, just enjoy being creative. Thanks for spending this time with me. I hope this video brought you a bit of calm and maybe a reminder that art doesn't have to be complicated to be meaningful. See you in the next one. Bye!